if you're an older executive,
Mhm.
what are you really up against here? Are you facing or will you be facing age bias, ageism? How do you overcome these challenges? What should you signal to the right people to ensure that it's not an issue? What's your view of that one?
Yeah, this is a really tough topic because it is very real. I mean, I can tell you when I start talking to a client if ageism is a factor, because they'll say, I really want someone, I know I can't talk about this, but I really want someone between 40 and 50 who has a long run. Um, One of the questions, because we get a lot of senior level executives, and most of them are in their 50s, some are in the latter part of 50s, or even like myself, approaching 60. What I normally say to them is you have to give them a picture of what your run looks like. So I always say they probably won't hire you if you have less than a 5-year run.
Hmm.
And it isn't, and again, nothing's an absolute in this business because, it's people, right? So we think, breathe, and change our mind all the time. But people really like at least a minimum of 5 years. If you have just 5 years, or even maybe a little bit less, you better talk about impact, and you better talk about impact quick, because you don't have a lot of time to make an impact in that organization. So you better go in with a plan. Year 1, year 2, year 3, here are the things I would do based on what I know. Now, I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot more, and I would go on my 90-day listening tour or joining your organization. But you better go in with an impact plan on what that would look like. Because if they don't feel you're going to make a tremendous amount of impact quickly, let's face it, it isn't just hiring someone who's got a short run. Your health insurance is more expensive. I mean, everything's more expensive for that employer. So you are a larger investment. So if they're going to get 3 years out of you and you can't explain this tremendous impact you're going to make, they're not going to hire you. And we can call it ageism, but as myself being an employer, it's also thinking about that return on investment. Where do I get the best return on investment? So, I mean, I've hired a lot of my team is around my age, and I've hired them, and my return on investment is they have lived being a leader. And because they've lived being a leader, they can help other leaders to walk through fire. They've helped me to walk through fire because they themselves have been there. And I love that, but not everybody does. So you have to have a plan, and you have to be able to super articulate it when you go in on the interview.